Hello everybody, welcome back to ApexTV. We are here today with a man named Adam Lawrence, who claims to be a time traveler from the year 4040. Now, Adam, first off, I want to thank you for coming out here today. It really is a pleasure to meet you. 4040 is obviously a long way in the future, and you claim you have traveled back in time to come to the year 2018. Can you explain to us why you've traveled back in time?
What actually brings me to the year of 2018 is the fact of, with things that are going on in today's day and age, I came back to study what its effect is on how people act in the future. Like, what things happen, like, with Trump being elected, how controversial that is in different countries, and including the U.S. It's created a controversy between people and how they live and act and how they view things, and I just came back to study that.
Interesting. So in the original email that you sent us explaining your story, you mentioned a lot of things that actually caught my eye. For example, you said you were born on which planet again?
I was actually born on Mars. Many people actually live on Mars now. My parents actually thought that would be the best place to bring a kid up, so they had me born there. Speaking of Mars, there are many other planets that are also inhabited. The 4 others are Mercury, Venus, Earth, and Pluto. Now, we also live on many other moons as well. There are too many to name all of them off, but yes, those 5 planets and moons are places inhabited.
Wow, so if you're able to go to all these different planets, even Pluto, like you mentioned, is commercial spaceflight a really common thing in the future?
Yes, they've created a sort of like bus-like spaceship you can get on. It is actually fairly inexpensive now. It used to be expensive when it was just starting out. The prices have actually gone down tremendously now with increases in technology. It usually takes about a day to get to the closer planets like Mercury, Venus, and Mars, but it takes longer to get to some of the moons of the other planets, and Pluto it takes about 5 days.
Are you saying from traveling from Earth to one of those other planets?
Yes, from Earth, which is still the main home planet.
Wow, so we can travel across the solar system relatively fast.
Yes, it takes no longer than a week to get through the entire thing. From Pluto to Mercury, if you're taking on, it's called the Universal Vacation.
So in the future, in the year 4040, you can travel between planets within our solar system, but can we travel to other solar systems? Because if it takes 5 days to get from Earth to Pluto, I assume we could go way farther than that if we wanted to.
We have been told yes by the government, but it is only governmental. It is an experiment that they are trying, but they do not want just ordinary citizens going to those places just yet. We know that they are testing it currently, but most is top secret. That is all they have informed us. Only high top government employees are allowed to go to the further reaches out of our solar system.
Wow. Do you send unmanned probes ever to other planets?
We have many robots out in space. Like, we have advanced technologies to the 2018 satellites. Those that just orbit moons or orbit other objects or just fly straight. We have many that can do more than that and much longer.
So how is technology in the future? Do we still have the internet?
Yes, we do have the internet. We actually have special chips implanted into our brains. We can search whatever we want and get whatever information we need on the spot.
Wow, so you just think it and then it somehow interfaces with that thing inside your brain?
Yes. Special government employees have developed an algorithm which applies our brainwaves into the current technology that we have.
So do we still use wireless internet, like Wi-Fi in the future?
Yes, we do have to have Wi-Fi access for all of this to work, but also other government employees have developed a tech that gives us Wi-Fi across our entire solar system. Anywhere in our solar system, you have access to Wi-Fi. On all the planets, all the moons, and even through the travels. You have unlimited access to Wi-Fi.
Wow, so you even have Wi-Fi when you're in between traveling, for example, from Earth to Mars.
Yes, anywhere that you can be in our solar system, you have the access.
And then you can use that. Do you have some kind of a receptor inside of your brain that connects to the Wi-Fi then?
Yes, it is through that chip that they have implanted in them.
So speaking in 2018 terms, in the last 100 years, the average life expectancy of a person has become exponentially greater, and I can only imagine how long people live in the future. So how long do people live?
So the average lifespan, around 40 is about 400 years old. In the early 3000s, they developed a technical pill/medication that can take your body and decrease its age and increase its age and decrease it. Now, eventually, parts of your body, they just tend to die. That part of the body, the medication and technology just can't get to it. That is its average lifespan. But the rest of it, it gets to keep up. And yes, right now, currently, I am actually 105.
Wow. So what parts of the body are not affected by the medication you're speaking of?
The main parts are the brain and the nervous system. Their connection between the two just starts to die off and get old, I guess. Their technology just can't get to it as well as the rest of it. I mean, once those two connections start to sever, then the rest of your body just comes with it.
So even at 400 years old, the body is functioning fine, but the brain and nervous system start to deteriorate?
It's not completely clear of all the information that we're told, but that is how we're told that it works.
So where do you live in the year 4040?
My main house is on Mars, where I was born. I live close to my parents, actually. They are still alive. But I travel a lot with work, and I have different buildings for work and housing developments all across our solar system.
So when you're actually on a planet, say Mars, how do you travel on that planet?
The transportation is slightly similar to what you have now. Our vehicles look similar, but they do not have the wheels or the drive that a car has today. It has a flying mechanism, and it has like a landing mechanism, like similar to planes in 2018, but far more advanced.
So speaking of all these different planets, first off, I'm really curious as to how the life is on each one of them. So is there like one government that encompasses all of these planets?
Actually, each planet has its own governmental system, very similar to the democracy that the US has today. The governmental form of democracy has been adopted by the universe as a whole, and each individual planet and moon has its own.
Wow, so we're inhabiting all of these different planets. Is there a reason for it? Is there anything wrong with Earth in the year 4040?
The Earth has become very overpopulated, and we needed to spread out. Also, people are curious. It is human nature to go out and find new things. So we started the exploration. We found out that we could support life. We could make and change the different environments of these different planets and moons, so we put life in them. We started building cities, adapting government, and another issue for some moons as well as Earth is global warming. But luckily, scientists today are, in fact, finding ways to beat it.
That's good to hear, because I know here in 2018 it is a major issue. Do we ever have contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
All I can say is yes. Going into further detail might create a paradox, but I will let you know that you will encounter them in the near future.
In the near future, would that be within my lifetime? Can you say that?
Yes.
So when is time travel actually invented?
I've been informed that it is actually invented in the 1980s, but it is not commercial until 2028. It has come more popular and more open to the public, though, in my time, about the early 4000s.
Can you explain to us exactly how a paradox works?
Talking about a paradox would create a paradox from the sheer fact of a paradox. So all I will say on the paradox is that the paradox is bad.
So with technology increasing exponentially, what will AI be like in the year 4040?
Well, actually, we live with AI. There are multiple relationships of humans and AI, or AI and AI, and we just have them as friends or helpers and workers. And also, They are government officials. Like each planet and moon has a government official that is AI.
Wow, so are these artificial intelligences, are they actually conscious like you and me?
With further technology, they have been able to give artificial intelligence a conscience.
Have we created actual robots, for AI?
Yes, they have been able to create a robot that is exactly like a human and given it the AI.
Interesting. So when you see somebody walking down the street, is there a possibility that they're an AI, but you could mistake them as a human?
There are differences between the two, and you can tell them each apart, but yes, you could see AI walking down the street.
So Adam, there's going to be a lot of skeptical people watching this. So do you think you could give us something upcoming that's going to happen in near the year 2018, in the near future?
Something that I can tell you is that your current president will be elected for a second term.
And who's going to be president after him?
I cannot say his name for it would be controversial, but I will tell you that his initials are JM. And then the president after that will be Yolanda Renee King.
So this is kind of a personal question, but is ApexTV very big in the future?
Yes, they do exist. Forms of media become more of a virtual reality. This is what you guys consider it in 2018. And ApexTV becomes a company supplying virtual reality to the people of the universe.
Wow, so you say virtual reality. Is this virtual reality interface that we're able to do, is that actually built into our brain? Or do we have to wear some types of sunglasses or contacts or anything?
Yes, there's a suit that you put on, and it gives you the full experience. You would think that you're just doing an average everyday thing, but when you're really immersed into virtual reality.
And I want to thank you so much for coming out here today. It was a pleasure to meet you, Adam.
Yes, it was a pleasure to meet you too.
Would you be willing to do any live interviews in which you answer people's questions live?
I'd be very willing to do any of that, and as you know, I will be here until the end of 2019.
That sounds great, and I look forward to meeting up with you again, possibly for a future interview.
Sure, sounds great.
That sounds great. Again, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.